Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Goons Radio, the podcast for the IWC from the IWC. This is the NXT Takeover episode for Brooklyn. And coming up this Saturday night, Hideo and Tommy is advertised. We got a ladder match for the main event and tag team turmoil. Oh my! In this episode of jam-packed action, we want to thank everybody listening to us on WrestlingRadio.blogspot.com, which is our blogger page. If you go there, you'll find all of our other social media links, including iTunes and Stitcher. Go there, subscribe to us today if you like what you hear, and keep listening. We want to thank Mark, who is with me today. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Can't wait for like an extremely long weekend of nonstop wrestling.
Yeah, this is one of our first episodes that we're going to get into. We want to remind everybody we got the SummerSlam pre-show coming up tomorrow as well, and we'll have a post-show to follow that. So plenty more to go with us. To get into this episode of Takeover, we're going to start with the Divas four-way match that they're going to have: Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Emma versus Dana Brooke. It feels to me like we've had these four together, and we have, and it was a tag match, and I guess they just don't want to do that again, so that's kind of why we're having this match. I don't know if it's going to be for a number one contender that hasn't been announced yet. If it is, maybe that would make it make more sense. If I had to pick a winner right now going into this, it would make sense that Dana Brooke would be the winner here. I don't want that to happen, and I know Mark is going to disagree with me. And uh, if he's right, then kudos to him. I'll let him go ahead and give his prediction, and we'll see what he thinks about it.
Honestly, it would make the most sense to have Emma be the winner. Bailey's already went through Charlotte, she went through Becky to get to Sasha. So I'm assuming that her run with the two women that went up, this is just to elevate the people that are still down there. So I don't think Dana's ready yet, and I think Emma versus Bailey for the title would be pretty good, solid matches.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It would not be a bad match. We've seen it several times. This is one of the first feuds they've had in NXT, and it's kind of fitting that Bailey is having to go through all of the NXT people that are on the main roster now, and Emma was the first of all those to go there. So, yeah, I can definitely see Emma being the person. I just feel like if they were gonna make it a number one contender, then it would make more sense for Dana as far as the push goes, because I think Dana's the one because of the bodybuilder that they're looking to build. But I think we all know that I'm not impressed with the in-ring work of Dana Brooks so far. So I would not be upset at all if Emma won this match. Maybe that's where they're gonna go. From there we go to another match that really makes no sense, but we're gonna. It's just simply to elevate people, I guess. So I guess I can't complain about that much. Enzo and Big Cass, the Sheridan Connection. They're going to be facing, teaming up with the Hype Brothers, Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, and they're going to go against Jordan and Gable, which is a great new team, and Dash and Wilder in this eight-man fest. It looked to me, yeah, like I said, they just have the guys there. I'm really looking forward to seeing if Jordan and Gable can get themselves over more in this match, and the crowd has really took to them everywhere else. Being in Brooklyn, though, I fully expect Enzo and Big Cass, along with Zack Ryder being the Jersey guy, they're definitely going over here. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I definitely think that team's gonna be victorious, but I think that this match is more so just to get all of the tag teams in NXT more exposure. And I mean, because honestly, I kind of like Dash and Wilder. They're growing on me, kind of like how Blake and Murphy they started out just kind of like as a job squad with not really much music or anything, and they're starting to put together the package as well. So I think it would be entertaining match, but I don't really expect anything too big from it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong in this Dash and Wilder team. Is Scott Dawson involved in that anyway?
Um, I I don't know. I really haven't seen Dawson back in a while, or did he form another tag team? I'm not sure. We'll have to get that information.
Yeah, I think he started out with the Wilder, like in the beginning, and then I think they put Dash in there. I'm not really sure. We'll definitely get that on the next episode when we cover NXT. But yeah, this team is definitely. I don't dislike them either. And like I said, I really, really, really like Clark, Jordan and Gable. That gimmick is great, and they have good chemistry together in the ring with their movesets. But this is gonna be the Jersey thing, so we're gonna have to deal with that. Everybody knows if you listen to any podcast I've done for NXT, my disdain for Mojo Rawley is so hardcore. So I'm not looking forward to it. That's my 2 cents on that. And if you thought I wasn't looking forward to that, wait till we tell you the next match. Eva Marie is gonna face Carmella in what might be my least exciting demon match in the history of any women's match ever in wrestling history because I can't stand Carmella and I can't stand Eva Marie, and there's no other two ways to put it. Uh, I'm gonna have to say if I had to pick a winner right now, I'm gonna go Eva Marie because they're definitely getting ready to build her up to be the next big thing, and I still don't know why. Mark, I know you're gonna give her a better shot than I do, so go ahead and give her your 2 cents worth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in seeing the development of both of these divas actually, because I mean, we haven't seen too much in-ring performance from Carmella. Only like maybe one or two matches I think she had, and then she went straight to being a valet, like nonstop. And Eva Marie, the first match that she came back from really didn't impress me. So I'm hoping that she builds on that, and over time, wrestling ability improves. You would think at least, or hope.
Yeah, that's because her first 2 matches were against a jobber that wound up becoming bigger than she ever thought about being in blue pants. That's how bad Carmella was in the beginning that a jobber got more over than her. So,
Sir, you can't say anything bad about Leva Bates, okay? Because she's an amazing performer even outside of NXT.
absolutely. But the fact that the crowd isn't supposed to know who she is, and they have Carmella, who they don't even have a name for this girl, and Carmella just that she can't get over that. But I will say that the crowd has started accepting her, but I think if you took her away from Enzo and Cass, they would turn on her so hardcore.
Well, yeah, I mean they would completely turn on her, but I will also throw this. Miss Bates is from Florida and wrestles independently, and you know NXT is a smart crowd, so they're there for 4 tapings. They know who she was.
She has a sweet new shirt too on WWE.com, by the way. WWEshop.com. Neat plug there. So you got Eva Maria Carmella as your pick.
I'm also going with Eva Marie. Yep, because her ascension to the top of the ranks of the NXT Women's Championship. I don't think that it's necessarily going to be fast, but I think it's going to be steady.
Yeah, hopefully it's not fast at all because from what I saw in the 2 matches she's had, she's got a lot more work to do. So, we're gonna move on to the next match of the debut of Apollo Crews. Who, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who thought of this name. I guess he thought of it, but whatever. That's the name of Uha Nation from the independent scene, who is now going to be known as Apollo Crews. And that name sounds like a guy from Rocky and the Old Spice guy put together, and then that is what we have. And it's gonna be a quick match, I'm sure. It's probably gonna last about 45 minutes. And Cruz is gonna get his stuff in. I can't believe when I called him that. Uh, Mark, go ahead and tell me why you're excited about Apollo Crews.
Well, I mean, I'm not really excited about the name, but I'm sure he had something to do with picking out that particular thing. I'm sure that wasn't his first choice or anything. But I'm also really interested in seeing if Ty brings out his perfect 10 gimmick. I've seen it around on the house shows that they've been doing now traveling with NXT, and I want to see that because apparently Full Sail loves it, and so does the people in the road shows. So that'd be interesting.
He,
But yeah, I think Apollo Crews definitely goes over.
he actually did it on last week's episode on TV, so he has debuted it on TV already. And he has a shirt that simply says 10 on it, and it's pink, and he's wearing pink, so that's gonna make him get even more mixed heat. That's a pretty good gimmick. I like the 10 gimmick as well, and I'm looking forward to that as well, but yeah, it's gonna be a jobber. And it won't go 10 minutes, I can promise you that. Speaking of characters re-debuting, we're gonna get Bullshit, and the Bullshit gimmick, Bull Dempsey's gonna be somebody named Elias Sampson, who, obviously, if I don't know him, he's probably not gonna make much of an impact. These Bull Dempsey vignettes started out really hilarious, especially before he got in shape, like when he's eating the donuts and fighting the vending machine. Those were hysterical. I lived to see those every single week. I'm worried that they're gonna turn it into like some real life get fit gimmick. I don't want to see that, Bart. What do you hope they do with this Bull Dempsey gimmick?
Well, see, I mean, I saw him like pushing weights around and whatnot, but maybe it's kind of like the ZZ thing, and he's just in there for show, and he's still completely out of shape whenever he quote unquote re-debuts. I think that would be a hilarious way to. But I did all this work. How come I'm still fat and yada yada yada? Maybe it's because you eat Twinkies and try to kill vending machines. I don't know. But yeah, I'm somewhat interested. I hope that they choose a great direction to go in with this character.
But you do agree that it has to be comedy related, correct?
I would like it to be comedy related. Um, kind of hoping that it doesn't go like you said into, oh, look at this, I'm so fit now, and I can make you into this. But I mean, I guess he could still keep it comedy even if he went that direction. But I don't know. I just if Vince has anything to do with this, it's probably the direction that they're going. I'm hoping Hunter steers clear of that.
I don't want Simon Dean 2.0. That's what I do not want. So if we can stay away from that direction, I'll be doing just fine. Um, yeah, we'll just see how that goes. Speaking of the next match, I'm really excited about this. Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, is gonna face the legend from the Rising Sun in his first ever WWE match, Jushin Thunder Liger. I grew up watching Jushin Thunder Liger and Brian Pillman tear it up in WCW. And in America, in Japan, they've had classic matches. Um, Jushin Thunder Liger, what more can you say about the guy? Unfortunately, I feel like this match is happening because WWE is taking a direct shot at Ring of Honor, who is also running a show the same night in Brooklyn. Mark, do you feel like this is why Liger is on the card? And does that change your excitement level for the match? And you think that Tyler is going to do the job?
Okay, so I'm also really looking forward to this match, not only because of Jushin Thunder Liger's first WWE match, but also because Tyler Breeze deserves it, and I think that he could put on a great match with him. I actually think that maybe I mean, it might be an indirect shot at Ring of Honor, but I also know that with all of this Japanese talent that they're pulling, or people that were bred through the Japanese system and the New Japan and Noah and all them, I think they actually have more to do with Jushin coming over, simply because WWE is running videos at the moment of Finn Balor talking about how much of an impact he had on his career and helping him along and stuff.
Definitely. I definitely think that could be part of it as well. I'm hoping that I definitely seen Liger winning the match. But I'm hoping it leads to some bigger things for Tyler. I feel like that a lot of times in their main event storylines, he's kind of like the shaman. You know what I mean? Like they want to have him in the main event, but there's just not room for him most of the time. That's kind of what I think of Tyler Breeze when I compare him to somebody on the main roster. You think that's a fair comparison before we move on?
Yeah, or I mean, I could also say the Miz as well, because I mean, even though he was main eventing, he was still the third wheel in that main event storyline. I also have another idea about this whole thing. I think it could lead into Tyler Breeze versus Finn Balor. Maybe Tyler doesn't win the first one, but I'm assuming that he's probably going to get some kind of retribution on Jushin and or take him like quote unquote out of commission so they can just write him back off. And that's what leads Finn into coming in contact with Prince Pretty. I think that would be a good setup for a feud as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've already used Prince Pretty facing Hideo Itami, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into the main event here in a couple of minutes about, I got a couple of opinions on how that might go. Um, we'll just have to see how all this dots connect, but yeah, I definitely think him having this match means that the bigger things are in store for his future. The next match they just kind of threw together in the last 2 weeks of the last two tapings, and I didn't think they'd be able to have enough of a story to tell. But thanks to the Full Sail crowd and the sparks that they are, they've been able to take this story and get it kind of interesting. Baron Corbin, who has always been built as the good guy that destroys people quickly, the crowd has apparently decided they're tired of seeing that and it's boring. And they turned on him, and he played well to it, saying, you know, how can you boo me and how dominant I am? I'm going to run through everybody that's here. There's nobody that can stop me. And Samoa Joe comes out and taps him out, literally just chokes him out. So the very next week, Baron Corbin does a sneak attack on Samoa Joe and hits him with the end of days, which I will say Samoa Joe had a running start. So I don't know if he can do it with him flat footed. We'll see at TakeOver, I guess. Odds on favorite, shockingly enough, are Baron Corbin going over in this. I can't see that. I think Samoa Joe is winning. Bart, what do you think?
Oh wow. Um, Oof, that's a really hard pick for me. But I will say this though about the comment about the end of days. He mostly does it with the off the rope, like the coming back off the rope and hits it. So I mean that was nothing new for that move particularly. But oh wow. My pick, I'm actually going opposite. I'm gonna go with Baron Corbin. I think that he's just a monster. I mean, I don't think that this is going to be a one and done feud by any chance, but I'm thinking like an old school just brawl, really and truthfully. We've already seen the end of days. We've already seen the choke out. Does Samoa Joe get him up for a muscle buster? That's a trip right there.
Well, this would make two, in the two big feuds Samoa Joe has had, he'll be 0-2 in his WWE career. Do you think this has anything to do, and I'm not going to say that it does, the fact that he's a TNA guy from the past, is that going to affect his WWE career?
No, sir. I see this more as he's already established. He was already a name before they came in there, i.e., he got to keep his name when he came in. So this is more like, hey, you're a veteran. Um, do you mind working with these younger guys and helping them grow their own name and grow their own brand? And I'm sure as the veteran that he is, and I've heard a lot of great things about him that was in the locker room and just being one of those generals kind of like Taker is. I'm sure he's happy to oblige and put over these younger guys.
Sounds fair enough. Sounds fair enough. The next match we have is the tag match rematch that I've been waiting for. The Vaude villains, Aiden English and Simon Gotch, have been belittled every single week with Alexa Bliss. And guys and gals, when I tell you that Alexa Bliss slaps the taste out of their mouth, I mean, she lets them have it every week with palms across the face. They've told Commissioner Regal that they have a plan to isolate her at Takeover to where she will not be a problem in them conquering their tag team titles off of Blake and Murphy. I really, really, really did not like this team, but Alexa Bliss has helped me like them. And they're not that bad. I guess I'm not supposed to like them. That's the point. Uh, but I really want the Vaudevillains to win this match. I don't know what they have in mind. I'm certain that it's going to be some kind of diva. I don't know who. No, Mark, do you have any idea about what might happen in this match?
Actually, I was just running through the ideas in my head, and that's all. The only thing that I can think of is some female is going to join up with Simon and Gotch, and maybe she has one of those throwback characters as well, kind of like the circus Ole kind of characters. Um, it'll be interesting, but yeah, they're one of the teams that started out and they were great, but them on the mic this past week was amazing. It really just sold me even more on them. But I actually like Blake and Murphy to be honest. But Alexa Bliss does make them that much more heat and just that much more of a complete unit. But yeah, Slap City Bliss.
Yeah, kudos to her for just laying those slaps in. She don't hold anything back with it. Um, what if it's blue pants? What? Because it doesn't. I was thinking about what you said about it being a circus person, and that would be fine if it's an old Renaissance person. I'd be okay with that. But their whole gimmick is they respect women, so technically any woman can be like earn their respect. You know what I mean? So it can be any woman. It doesn't have to be the Renaissance.
Well, I mean, Blue Pants, I mean, she can change outfits easily. I mean, she wrestles as
Mm,
like all kinds of different
no,
characters,
sir.
but
No, she cannot change any outfit. She has blue pants.
oh, that's gonna be her WWE name?
Yes,
Are you
yes.
serious? Oh God, no, Leva, don't let this happen.
They have it on WWEshop.com, sir.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, but I mean, it would still be a great team with her.
No, I agree. I definitely think they gotta do a woman though. Like the only thing I can think of is like back in the '80s when Baby Doll was an issue in Dusty Rhodes' matches. They put her in a cage and raise her above the ring. I don't think they're gonna do that with Alexa Bliss.
Okay, you ever seen those commercials or those old timey things, the black and whites, where the lady gets like her hands and feet like roped together on the train tracks, kind of like what AJ Lee and Daniel Bryan did for that one pay per view thing or whatever. What if they do that?
Oh wow, I don't know if WWE would go that far, like restraining a woman with devices. Like I don't think in their PG area they would do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing you're right, but I mean, I'm just going trying to go along with the character of the old black and white characters. Okay, sir.
What if they did it like in the slow motion, like pixel thing? That'd be hilarious. Alright,
And
yeah.
it's not like that they actually have a train coming or anything. So I mean, it's not that dangerous.
They rescue the damsel in distress. That'd be hilarious. Um, next we have, I know we've all looked forward to this, Bailey Sasha Banks. It appears to be Bailey's time to shine. I hope this is it. She's went through every other diva that has been called up to the main roster. Charlotte and Becky. This has to be it, right, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. She's been there for quite a long time and she's done nothing except put over the person that was next in line for the title. So I mean, she's definitely taken her bumps, and it's so cool to have someone who is just really just a fan of WWE and learned the business and learned the craft and is quite successful. I mean, she's a great worker and reminds me of AJ Lee, which is why I'm assuming that AJ Lee did the whole I'm a hugger t-shirt her last night because she knows that that's the same path that she took.
She's gonna be one of those divas that can be so over in the face on the main roster. Like, it's gonna be, especially if they bring the waving inflatable arm tube man. Like, if those things pop up when she comes out on Raw, every little kid in America is gonna eat that up. She's gonna be the girl that they want to see.
Not only that, I mean, could you imagine all the make-a-wishes like John Cena did his or is going to do his 500th? I'm sure Bailey will start going along right there with them.
Speaking of which, WWE, Izzy, Bailey's biggest fan, you need to get her there so she can watch Bailey win the title in Brooklyn. Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just like I mean, because you could see just Bailey's interaction with the little girls now. I mean, I think that she'll just like really, really go over the top in the main roster. But yeah, definitely, I think there should be a make a wish already for Bailey to be at this title match, especially if she wins. That'd be great.
So I have Bailey, and I'm going to give Sasha credit now because I know it's not going to be a bad match with Sasha Banks in it. This doesn't hurt Sasha at all to me. She's doing a favor because she is going to be busy doing big things on the main roster. I think she may be the one that eventually dethrones Nikki Bella if it isn't Charlotte. Mark, are you okay with Charlotte doing the honor, or or Sasha, or do you think Sasha's retaining?
Yeah, I think Sasha's doing the four horsewomen type thing and just gonna let her buddy have it. Because I mean, that is one of the four women that did the whole WWE NXT four horsewomen. But yeah, definitely Bailey's turn and Sasha. Just kudos to her for everything that she's done on the main roster and just going to elevate her friend.
Absolutely. So looking forward to that. And now we're at the main event. I don't really have to hype this up too much and tell you why you should watch a ladder match for the NXT title. Kevin Owens is gonna face Finn Balor. Uh, wow. Every time these two are in the ring, it's pretty great. So you throw a ladder in the mix, I can't even imagine. And they're gonna go all out for the Brooklyn audience. We're gonna get the demon. I'm certain of it. Gonna be there NXT. That little build up they did before, in the final NXT episode where they hit the Finn Balor music and you think the demon's coming out, and they do a cut to Finn Balor sitting on the top rope. That was epic, and Owen sold it. Me and scared as all get out. I think that Hideo and Tommy being in the audience is going to play a factor in this match or in the post match. I feel like Owens being blamed for hurting him and Owens denying it vehemently is going to connect to Finn Balor somehow. And I feel like he's going to wind up being a bad guy. Mark, how am I off base or do you think I'm getting lukewarm to hot?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually dissected this many a times, like when it first even happened. So yeah, I think you're pretty on base with that. But yeah, especially the overall match, I believe is just going to be fantastic. The last ladder match for the NXT title was fantastic as well. Bo Dallas and I believe it was Neville. But yeah, these two in Brooklyn, it's going to be an epic match. But I do agree that something's happening with Adeo because they even had him at the Japanese show, which we stayed up till like 6 a.m. watching, which these two sold me staying up till 6 a.m. watching as well. So they're 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 on par to do some great things. But yeah, I think it leads to Adeo probably stepping in against Finn Maybe they do another triple threat where Prince Pretty and Finn and Hideo all go at it. I'm not sure. But yeah, if Hideo is going to stay relevant until he comes back, I think this would be a perfect opportunity to insert a little bit more of the storyline.
I feel like I'm obligated with my final thoughts to share. Then on supposedly, now this is only supposedly, on this last week of NXT tapings, they have pictures that WWE allowed to be tweeted out, mind you, which is why I think we might be being swerved or worked, as we say in the wrestling biz. Kevin Owens and Sasha Banks have their respective titles at the tapings. Mark, there's no way they give us the results of this before the pay-per-view, right?
Oh no, I mean this is gonna be eventually classic Triple H, I think. Vince might not have been this smart into the IWC and social media and stuff, but Triple H is. He's willing to leak stuff out if it's going to be wrong, just so all these smart people and people who listen to like IWC dirt sheets and podcasts and things, they think one thing and then they give them another. So yeah, I think that we're being worked here.
Actually, I've said it in other episodes too. I want to be worked. Please work me. Don't let me know every step by step what's about to happen. At the same time, though, that's the catch-22, because that also doesn't mean tell me stories that don't make any sense. Like I want it to make sense. I just want to go, whoa, I didn't think it was going to go that way, but now it did. It's a good way to go. So I kind of do hope it goes that way. Mark, any final thoughts you want to add before Brooklyn Takeover show wraps up here?
NXT has actually never let me down on a pay-per-view. So I'm expecting big things from this pay-per-view as well. And I mean, they're really close to selling out. I mean, they've sold out twice or three times now because they keep adding more tickets. I'm just waiting for them to take the show on the road like full time.
Wrestling News Radio correspondent Damian Lawson said he paid 30% extra for his NXT TakeOver tickets to make sure he was in the Barclays Arena, and he will be giving us a live report on next week's episode about what he experienced at NXT TakeOver, so you can look forward to that. Um, I think this has to be their biggest show because they're in the Barclays Center, and like you said, they've almost sold it out. Which, if you would have thought that NXT was selling out buildings like this a year ago, nobody could have fathomed it. This brand is a brand now, and this makes it official this Saturday night. We cannot wait for it. And that'll wrap it up for this episode of Wrestling News Radio. We want to thank all of our listeners at blogger at wrestlinggoodnessradio.blogspot.com. That's where you can find all of our other social media links: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, anywhere you can think, iTunes, Stitcher. You just go subscribe to us, hit that button, and you will find everywhere that we are at. We want to thank Phil Nathan for producing this show. And we want to thank the Max Sports Channel and Power Station FM. For Mark and for myself, I want to thank you for listening to the Wrestling News Radio, the podcast for the IWC from the IWC. We will see you when we see you.